Welcome to this Ark Survival Guide. I will be showing you guys how to beat the DodoRex, how to find it, and basically everything you need to know about the DodoRex. Real quickly though, I want to mention something in the background. That's us fighting it on a official server, so you can see it actually being done right on official. Also, I want to prevent some myths that I've been hearing a lot. Um, and keep in mind, guys, I fought this thing like 10 times, so I'm pretty well acquainted with it throughout the years. Uh, you have to beat it before 5 a.m. in game, or it will flee whether you're fighting it or not, guys. Two, it can spawn anywhere on the map. So it's not gonna spawn just on Carnal Island or Herbivore Island. It can spawn anywhere on the map. The asteroids will not show you where it goes. And you get chibis from beating the boss, and afterwards you can claim the zombie dodos. One thing I would like to mention right off the bat is kite it away from the zombie dodos. And it's not necessarily that hard to beat. It is harder than the Alpha Dragon, but honestly, when you have Gigas, it's not too that rough, as you can see. But for finding it, I would just spread out and look for it when it pops up. It pops up, so the information actually about the Dodo Rexes, it is 666,666 health. Um, but it's not as tough to beat as you would guess. Its fire breath, by the way, does 20%, so it's very much like the Wyvern. It'll do 20% of your total health over 10 seconds. So the faster you beat this guy, the better it is. You could beat it with 1 or 2 gigas, but if it starts moving on you, it's super quick. It looks like a giga body, but it's actually based more off the spinal. You can tell by its fighting. Um, and with that being said, it moves around really quick. Also, just because it's in water doesn't mean that uh, it can't breathe fire. It has to be swimming to not breathe fire. So one tactic is you could take the Dodo Rex, into the water. Uh, but honestly, it's easy enough that if you're playing on official, if you had 2 gigas that were around 1100 melee, and especially if they're mate boosted, you're not going to have much problems with this. It's more about finding him on the map than it is anything else. I would recommend kiting the Dodo Rex away from the zombie wyverns also, just to keep that in mind. That way you can claim all the zombie dodos afterward, the Zomdodos afterward. Information on the Zomdodos, guys, is you can force feed them meat. Their hunger doesn't go down, but if for some reason it doesn't show full, and when you pump stats on them, you can actually force feed them meat or cook the meat. That works. You can access the zombie dodo's inventory once you pot it and throw it out, so just keep that in mind. You actually do claim the zombie dodos by just running up to them after the fight. They become passive. Like I said, try to kite the Dodo Rex away from them when you start the fight. They won't follow it. And but anyway, you claim them by pressing triangle on them, or if you're on PS4, if you're on PC, it's E, and if it is on Xbox, you press Y. The Dodo Rex spawns every third day at midnight in game, and it gives you about 7 minutes real time to find it and beat it, and it despawns at 5 a.m. in game whether you're fighting it or not. There is a bunch of ways you could beat it. I've seen a lot of different tactics. You could bring it out to the water, beat it with Moses, uh, or you could slow it down on land with Manamirs or Snow Owls or Aloes. But honestly, guys, if it was just me, I'd bring 4 gigas if you're by yourself and just murder it really quickly. It's not worth all the hassle of that other work. And if you have a couple people online, just put them on a Giga. You could beat this thing by yourself with if you have a Giga with between 1300 melee or 1500 melee or more. If you've done it before, know what you're doing. But I would recommend doing at least 2 with riders or 4 without riders. Just don't make it hard on yourselves. It's not that hard to beat. The biggest deal, like I said, and I want to make sure you guys know this, is finding it. You gotta find it. Finding it's way tougher than beating it. I've only lost to it once. That was the first time I ever fought it. Ever since then, it's been a pretty easy fight. For example, I've actually beat it with 2 Gigas with only 700 melee. I wouldn't recommend it. They were pretty low on health, but I've had a Giga that's beaten it 3 times now, or 3 different years now. Real old Giga. So just keep that in mind, folks. So you can if you want, but safely do it the other ways. Just take 4 Gigas or 2 riders. You know, if you have decent ones, you shouldn't have no problem with it. Hopefully this guide helps you guys, and I do a lot of guides on official, so if you're into that, stick around. If not, have a wonderful time, and maybe I'll see you around again.